Hello students, I am Dr. K. Sarojini Chakravarti, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Botany, Government Degree College, Khairabad. In today's class, we are going to learn about plant succession, especially with hydrozy. What is plant succession? Like an organism, every plant community has a developmental history. This developmental history is called plant succession. A plant community first comes into existence with the colonization of a bare area by spore-bearing or seed-bearing plants. The bare area may be a rock, open soil surface, or a shallow pit, or a shallow pool, or a lake, and it is successively occupied by different plant communities. According to Odum, plant succession may be defined as an orderly process of community change. Most plant associations are not static and constant in extent and character, but tend to expand their range to cover the entire environment to which they are well suited. Some particular species, and account to its size, abundance, and ability to compete successfully with its associates, usually becomes dominant. The presence of a particular dominant species, which is usually called as pioneer community, may in time change conditions so that a very different group of plants invade the community and eventually replace the original colonizers. Climatic and topographic changes of various kinds may in time modify conditions so that there are changes in the distribution of plant associations. In a given locality, one group of plants may thus encroach upon another. This kind of succession may be rapid or it may extend over many years, and it will continue until stability is attained through the establishment of vegetation which is essentially permanent. This is called as climax association for the region. The great plant formations such as whatever day to day, today's forest, grassland and tundra are climax formations. The process of succession may start at places like bare rocks, exposed soil surface, shallow water, such as a small pool, silting up rivers and banks of a lake, etc. Plant succession may be of two kinds, primary and secondary. The primary succession, it begins in area which has previously unoccupied by plants, such as open water, bare rock, or sand. Secondary succession begins wherever the existing vegetation has been destroyed without denuding the area of soil. It usually starts after forest fires, cutting of the trees, floods, and erosions. Depending upon the nature of the habitat, the plant succession is of with the 7 types. But in this class, we are going to see only one type, that is hydroxear. A single case of plant succession at a particular kind of habitat is usually referred to as a sear, and the various stages of a sear are called seral stages. When a succession starts in an aquatic habitat, it is known as hydroxear. When a succession initiates on a dry or a bare land area, then it is known as xerosear. So plant succession is nothing but from nothing to a climax stage is known as plant succession. And what today forests, the great forests and grasslands and tundra vegetation, what we are seeing is it is of because of some hundreds of years of plant succession where one vegetation is occupied or encroached by another vegetation, and it has leads to formation of climax formation, that is forest. So we'll go in detail with hydroxear. What is hydroxear? Hydroxear means here the plant succession is starting in an aquatic habitat. It may be a small pool or a lake, etc. So succession is recognizable only if the colonization of plant communities takes place in artificial small and shallow ponds, lakes, etc., where wave action speeds up the process by allowing the erosion of soil towards edge regions. In this way, the filling process also speeds up quickly, and consequently, the water body disappears within a few years of time. In a new and virgin pond, hydrosphere starts with the colonization of phytoplankton and finally terminates into a forest, that is the climax community. Hydrosphere, it takes place in the 7 following stages. The first one is phytoplankton stage, second one is submerged stage, third is floating stage, next is reed swamp stage, sedge meadow stage, woodland stage, and the last 7th stage is climax stage or forest stage. Now we'll see each stage in detail. First one is phytoplankton stage. In the initial stage of succession, algal spores are brought in the water body. The simple forms of life like bacteria, algae, and many other aquatic plants, that is phytoplanktons, and animals, zooplanktons, which floats in water, are the pioneer colonizers. So in a hydrosphere, the pioneer colonizers, means the initial colonizers, are bacteria, algae, phytoplanktons, and zooplanktons. All these organisms, they add large amount of organic matter and nutrients due to their various life activities, and after their death, they settle down at the bottom of the pond to form a layer of muck. So when there is, increase in the depth, when there is a decrease in the depth of the pond, slowly the phytoplankton stage is followed by the next stage, that is submerged stage. In the submerged stage, a loose layer of mud is formed at the bottom of the pond. Some rooted submerged hydrophytes, they begin to appear on the new substratum. The submerged aquatic vegetation develops in the regions of ponds or lakes where water depth is about 10 feet or more. The pioneers of this stage are Potamogeton, Ranunculus, Atricularia, Ceratophyllum, Vallisneria, Cara, etc., where these are rooted submerged hydrophytic plants. These plants, they form entangled mass and have marked effects on the habitat. When these plants, they die, their remains are deposited at the bottom of the ponds or lakes. The eroded soil particles and the other transported materials are also deposited at the bottom of the lake. This gradually raises the bottom of the pond, and this process of stratification progresses. The water body becomes more and more shallow. Consequently, the habitat now becomes less suited for the submerged vegetation, and it is more favorable for other plants. Now, when there is, increase in the bottom level, now the submerged stage means vegetation cannot be sustained, and now it results in the next stage, that is floating stage. When the water depth reaches about 4 to 8 feet, the submerged vegetation starts disappearing, and then the floating plants, they make appearance in that area. In the beginning, the submerged and floating plants, they grow intermingled, but in the course of time, the submerged plants are replaced completely with the floating plants. The most tolerant species in the area are able to reproduce and perpetuate. The broad leaves of floating plants, they float on the water surface. They check the penetration of light to deeper layer of water. This is one of the main reasons responsible for the death of submerged plants. So when the water is covered by floating leaves, so when light doesn't penetrate inside, so all the submerged plants will be dying. Due to continuous interaction between plant communities and aquatic environment, the habitat becomes changed chemically as well as physically. Thus, the substratum rises up by the dead remains of plants, and as well as more soil which is get deposited on the in the bottom of the lake or a pond. The floating plants, hydrophytic plants, are Nilambo, Trapa, Pistia, Nymphia, etc. So when there is, again, when the pond becomes more shallower, now floating plants cannot be sustained or cannot be withstand in the environment. Now it reaches to the next stage, that is reed swamp stage. When the pond becomes too shallow and the habitat is not changed much, that it becomes less suited for the floating plants. Now it is well adapted to new environment. Under these conditions, the floating plants disappears gradually and their place is occupied by amphibious plants, which can live successfully in aquatic as well as in aerial environment. Example of these are Typha phragmites, or also known as reed. The foliage leaves of such plants are exposed much above the surface of water, and roots are generally found in the mud or submerged in the water. The foliage leaves form a cover over submerged and floating plants, and as a result, there is a cut off light from the plants underneath them. Under these conditions, submerged and floating plants cannot be survived, and this results in the deposition of soil as well as plant debris at the bottom of the lake or a pond, reducing the depth of the water and makes the habitat less suitable for the pre-existing plants. Now this is, not suitable for this reed swamp stage. Later on, it goes to the next stage, that is sedge, marsh or meadow stage. The filling process finally results in a marshy soil, which may be too dry for the plants of pre-existing community. Now the plants well adapted to this new habitat, they begin to appear in the pre-existing community. The important plants that are well suited to marshy habitat are the members of Cyperaceae and Graminae. Examples: the species of sedge Carex, Russius Zancus, Themeda, Iris, Cymbopogon, etc. They are the new invaders of marshy area. As these plants grow more luxuriantly in the marshes, they modify the habitats in several ways. Like they absorb and transpire a large quantity of water and also accumulate plant debris and waterborne soil particles. Consequently, a dry habitat results which may be totally unfit for the growth of normal hydrophytes. Gradually, the mesophytes start appearing, and after some time, the sedge vegetation is totally replaced by them. Now, this will lead to the next stage, that is woodland stage. In the beginning, some shrubs and later medium-sized trees form open vegetation or woodland. These plants produce more shade and absorb and transpire large quantity of water. Thus, they render the habitat very drier. Shade-loving herbs will also grow under the trees and shrubs. The most prominent plants of woodland community are species of Butea, Acacia, Cassia, Terminalia, Salix, etc. After woodland stage, the last stage is occupied by climax or forest. After a very long time, the hydrozoa may lead to the development of climax vegetation. As the level of soil is raised much above the water level by progressive accumulation of humus and soil particles, the habitat becomes drier and certainly well aerated. In such a habitat, well-adapted self-maintaining and self-reproducing, stable and uniform plant community consisting mostly of woody trees, develops in the form of mesophytic forest. In the climax forest, all types of plants such as herbs, shrubs, mosses, and shade-loving plants represent their own communities, whereas trees are dominant and they have control over the entire vegetation. Even bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms are also frequently found in the climax vegetation. They react upon the habitat and make the soil rich in the organic materials. At the climax stage, a complete harmony develops between plant community and habitat. Now, it is very clear that whole sphere is a continuously but gradually changing complex in which the changes are forced by biotic, topographic, or climatic factors. But it is a very slow process that cannot be observed in nature. It may require some thousands of years to reach the climax forest stage. So, in this picture, we can see how the changes has occurred. So, this is a aquatic habitat. When it is next, it is occupied by submerged stage. Next, the floating stage. Next, there is the pond has become more shallow, resulting in the climax forest stage. So this is the hydrosphere very clearly shows the 7 stages. First is the phytoplankton stage, when there is the depth of water is much higher, followed by submerged stage, next followed by floating. So when floating is there, floating leaves, it does not allow the sunlight to penetrate, which makes the submerged plants to die. After floating, next is the floating leaf plants will emerge. Then comes the reed swarm stage. After that, when there is a decrease in the depth of the pond or a lake, it results in the formation of marshy meadows. After marshy meadows, when there is no water level, it results in the woodland stage. And after woodland stage, last is the climax stage where you will see the forest. So this is plant succession in an aquatic habitat. From aquatic habitat, it has resulted in the today's forest. So it has occurred in 7 several stages. That is phytoplankton, submerged, floating, reed swarm, marsh meadow, woodland, and last is climax. In the next class, we'll see how plant succession occurs from a bare rocky area, which is also known as xerosphere.